Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about captions and how we enable anyone to tell their story with video. So this all started with the problem. In 2021, talking videos emerged as the dominant format on short form platforms. But these videos were still too hard to make. You had to write script, you had to set stage, film the actual video, edit it, add effects, and then translate it to reach your global audience. So while there's a massive scale in the amount of videos being posted, we hadn't yet scaled the video creation. And we wanted to set to solve this. And from this, we thought of our friend Ratatouille here with the mantra that anyone can cook. And so we wanted to have the same thing where anyone can tell their story with video. We started out with editing, mapping AI technologies to the editing experience. So this started in 2022, where we kind of launched our flagship product, Captions, adding captions to that short form content. But then we went farther in, doing eye contact fixing to where you can make your eyes actually look at the camera instead of the teleprompter that you might be reading. Or then going into AI dubbing, so we can dub your script in your voice to have a global reach, and then you can have your video in any language you would like. This all culminated in AI Edit, where with one button, you can completely edit your video and have it ready to post to your socials. And this got us to 2024, where we had made video creation a lot easier. But it wasn't all the way there. Even so, we had a massive impact and people were starting to really use our product, with over 10 million creators and businesses around the world creating video. Interestingly, 75% of those users are outside of the US, which really shows how features like Translate and AI Dub can really help a global audience make the type of content and tell the story that they would like to tell. But we still wanted to make this even easier. And this is where I come in. So hello, I'm Corbin. I joined Captions in March 2024, leading the backend team as an engineering manager. I graduated from the University of Texas, and after that I spent 9 years at YouTube. First as a software engineer, focusing on Android and core infra, but then moving into the YouTube music product space, first on infra, but then starting to lead a product engineering team. I also am a soccer fan. And so today we're going to talk about this new frontier, video generation, to help people tell their story, make it even easier. I'm then going to deep dive into that product, AI Creator, and some of the challenges we have around it, from how we can produce the right inputs into the model, how we can scale the model to meet our user base, and how can we also moderate the content to make sure we're producing things within our terms and service. And then lastly, I'm going to go into a new feature we're building on top of that AI Creator called Accent Select to really have a global reach for your content. So yeah, video generation was the first thing that the team started looking at when I joined in March. And we built two large flagship products here. First was AI Creator. And so through this, you basically select a creator, give them a script through text, and that creator will say that text through generated video. The next feature is AI Twin, where you could then upload yourself to be a creator for yourself and make content without having to shoot video over and over again. And so with this, we made creation of video even easier. So now you no longer even needed a camera or set stage to produce the content you wanted to tell your story. And today we have over 3 million videos created monthly, and it's growing. So here I'm going to show a demo where we have the AI Creator, and then we move that into our AI Edit experience using our two big features to make it with 2 clicks, you can produce video that's ready to share.
Hey, Video at Scale. I am an AI creator. Here are some brief context on captions. In 2021, short-form platforms like TikTok really took off, as did a new form of video where creators addressed the camera directly. In response, we launched our iOS app featuring captions. Today, millions of creators around the world use captions to generate and edit their videos.
So there you go. With AI Creator and AI Edit, 2 clicks, we're able to make that video and have that ready to be shared out. So what all is happening in that AI Creator experience? I want to walk you through the steps here that gets that final generating video so you can see all that you actually have to do. So here's our app. You can go into it and then select Create, because I want to create a new video. Select AI Creator, and then I'm going to use the prompt to video feature. This will bring you to our AI Creator page where you can see all of my AI twins. Don't judge me, I have a lot of them. But you can also see all of our different creators. So you can use yourself if you've used the AI Twin feature or one of our creators that we have on the platform. I'm going to go with myself. This one looks really great. I think I look pretty good here. And so now I can go into building my script. We can help you make the script with our script generation by enter a prompt and we'll produce the script for you. I've actually already done that, so I'm going to save this the time and go into my script history where I can select the script that I have already looked over. I think it's pretty good. I think this is going to be a good one. I want to start going more into soccer. So like I said, I'm a big soccer fan, and I want to start making content on like the tactical side of soccer, how teams strategize to actually win games. I think this script is a good one for that, and so I'm going to go into our video generation flow. The first step here is just processing that script, breaking it up into different categories, different sections. I think this is also pretty reasonable. And now I'm going to go into the generate video experience. So now, what actually happens there when you click generate video? The core system underlying all of it is a model developed by Captions that we call LipDub. It's a multi-stage transformer-based model. You can view it basically given two inputs, a minute of a video of a person talking and a clip of audio. It'll produce an output where a person in that video will talk to the new audio. And there's really good things about the model we developed. It's highly generalized, so it's really easy to scale to a growing user base. It's really easy to bring new users into the platform, like the AI Twin feature. We don't need too much data to create video with a new person. But there are problems. One, the model requires audio, but the product that we want to build is more text-driven. We want people to be able to type and edit the script they want to use instead of use audio. Also, scaling videos is really hard for this model. Video generation is slow and expensive, and as people are making more and more video, we want to make sure the video they're making is within our terms and service. So how do we moderate that? To solve text to audio, we actually leverage a third-party provider named ElevenLabs. They produce a text to audio model that works really well, and it really meets our use case. To use them, we first have a creator that gets uploaded to video. We then denoise that audio so there's no background noises in it. It's just what they're saying. And then we feed it to ElevenLabs and get a voice ID back that we can then store. When creating video now with that creator, you can give us the script, we'll have the voice ID stored. We have that initial audio using ElevenLabs ready to go. We'll run some polish on it, and then we'll do one last interesting thing, leveraging a different provider called Whisper, who can basically align the audio and the script to let you know exactly when words in that audio were said. So in my example here, I had the text, "Welcome to my video feed." I gave that to ElevenLabs. It produced audio in my desired my desired creator's voice. And then I gave that to our Whisper model to then identify exactly when a welcome is said, exactly when to is said, exactly when my is said, and so on. And so this is how we both produce the audio, but then we can produce the captions that go on the video as well. Our second problem is content moderation. So users are only allowed to make videos with AI creators with very specific restrictions. You can imagine if you were an AI creator on our platform, you wouldn't want anyone to be able to just say anything with your likeness. So within our terms and service, we generally try to avoid any discussion of politics and any illicit activity that people might feel uncomfortable talking about. So how do we enforce this? We leverage text-based LLMs. To do that effectively, we had to do a bit of prompt engineering, which I found to be an exciting and new part of engineering at scale today in the industry. So the first thing we did was just give the LLM hey, here's the script. Does it talk about the things we don't want to talk about? And that worked actually really well. If anything, it was way too conservative. It was flagging content that was actually very fine within our terms and service very often, which is the side we wanted to be on. We were okay being too conservative. So that worked okay at first, but we wanted to improve it. We wanted to let people tell stories that were okay to tell. And so to do that, we started to ask the LLM to play a role. So instead of just saying, does this script look good to you? We ask, hey, you are a content moderator and you're trying to review whether content matches these terms and services. Does this one do so? And we found just by asking the LLM to play that role, it got much better at still flagging content that was bad, but letting good content go through. And it worked so well that we doubled down. We're like, all right, let's make an org of LLMs, where now not only do we have the content moderator, we also now have the content moderator manager, who whenever the content moderator flags something as bad, we ask the content moderator to say, hey, look at that content and do you sign off? Do you agree with your content moderator team that this should stay flagged and not be allowed to be created? And we saw that worked even better, still identifying the content that was outside our terms and service, but letting good content go through so people could tell their story. So the third problem then was latency. Like I said, the model was slow. And not only is it slow, taking 17.5 minutes to produce 1 minute of video, it also produces video that's fairly low resolution at 512 by 512. And all of this is quite cost intensive. This is running on GPUs. GPUs cost a lot of money. And so this operation is actually fairly expensive. So first, we wanted to optimize kind of the quality of it. And what we did there is identify bounding boxes. Since we're only really wanted to regenerate the lips in the video, we wanted to just identify what's the part of the video where this person's head is, and then we're only going to generate on top of that. So this let us make 512 by 512 video that worked very well in like a much larger setting. So we're able to produce really high quality content now by only regenerating the part of the video that we need to regenerate. Then we started looking at latency. And the thing we did here is parallelize generation into 2-second chunks. We could have gone smaller. We could have gone half-second chunks, for example, but that comes with a trade-off. As you parallelize more and more, you scale and fan out more and more. And so this causes scaling issues. It becomes expensive to add more machines, and then it stays expensive to run those machines, especially at peak traffic. So we found a good sweet spot at 2-second chunks, which brought our P90 down to about 7 minutes. The next thing we looked at is asset caching. So this is really optimizing the model itself to help bring down latency and cost at the same time. So one thing we noticed was we were pre-computing model features that were needed every single time we ran the model for new video. And so what we did is, instead of produce it on the fly, is pre-compute it and store it in our database. And so whenever we make a new video with that creator, we can just do a database read, get the needed model feature, and then use that instead. And we saw that this brought every parallelized run down by a minute, which improved our P90 by roughly 30%. We then got even deeper into optimizing the model. And here we used Torch.compile. So Torch.compile is a tool in PyTorch, which we wrote our model in, that basically is an optimized just-in-time compiler. So basically, whenever you deploy your model on a machine, wherever you run Torch.compile, it will initially compile that piece of code exactly for the machine you're running on. So you have to pay an upfront cost to do the compilation, but then you get a long-term latency gain at every time you have to run that same exact piece of code that's now compiled. And so we saw this and we're like, this is great. Like, let's just do the whole entire model like this. That came with some issues though. One, it was 10 minutes to compile our entire model using Torch.compile, which is really going to make scaling up new machines, as we needed to add new machines at our peak traffic, hard to do. It also barely fit in machine RAM, so we weren't even getting all of the optimizations that we were hoping for. So instead, we ran a profiler on our model, and we saw a specific for loop that was quite time intensive running every time the model ran. And so we decided just to compile that part of the model. We saw that that compilation took under a minute, which was totally reasonable for our scaling, and it still brought our P90 down by 32%. So here now we think we have a model that runs fairly fast and is ready to go. But that isn't everything that happens in our video creation. It's actually a multi-step process, and we only caught out a few here. It starts with categorizing scenes, making sure we can break each part of the video into different scenes that we can then run content moderation on. We do that text to audio, and then we do that word time alignment to make sure we get the audio and the captions that go on top. We trim the audio to make it ready for a talking video type video, and then run into our parallelization efforts to split the video into chunks and mapping the scenes that we grab to those video chunks. We lastly run that optimized lip dub and then finally merged all the final video together to give back to our user. And so once all of this happens, we can then watch our video. And so here, this is the video I created from the demo at the very beginning, where I wanted to become a soccer influencer on short form distributors.
In football, an overload is when a team crowds one area of the pitch, creating a numbers advantage to outplay the opponent's defense. By drawing defenders to one side, they can exploit space or isolate key players. In the Premier League, teams like Manchester City and Arsenal use overloads frequently, especially on the wings or in midfield, to break down compact defenses and create goal-scoring opportunities. It's all about creating options and openings in tight spaces, making every move unpredictable and hard to defend.
So there you go. That video was completely generated. I did not shoot it. I just gave it the script that y'all saw earlier and it generated that content. But I wonder if you noticed a problem there. And this is actually a problem that we're hoping to solve because it's been a common user feedback that we've received, which is they want to have creators, but with a specific accent. And so to help with this, we wanted to leverage some new technology that came out in the industry from 11 Labs called speech-to-speech, which gives audio and a voice ID will produce that audio in the desired voice. So you get full control over delivery of speech. This is a great piece of technology, but we're like, how can we leverage this in a clever way to then also give people the ability to select accents? So we had to make two main changes here. One, whenever we get a new creator onto our platform, we take note of their accent when we add it to our accent to creator map. So we have a good base of like what types of accents we can support. When people are creating new video, first ask them for the accent they would like to do. We then update the flow slightly to such that when we do text-to-speech, instead of doing it into the creator they selected, we do it to a creator with the desired accent that they want. That then lets us leverage speech-to-speech, where we can translate the audio made in the desired accent to the voice of the creator that they actually want to create the content in. And then we can merge the final video and send it back to our users. And so what this lets us do is have your video in a different accent. So I use this to now make my soccer video, but in a British accent.
In football, an overload is when a team crowds one area of the pitch, creating a numbers advantage to outplay the opponent's defense. By drawing defenders to one side, they can exploit space or isolate key players. In the Premier League, teams like Manchester City and Arsenal use overloads frequently, especially on the wings or in midfield, to break down compact defenses and create goal-scoring opportunities. It's all about creating options and openings in tight spaces, making every move unpredictable and hard to defend.
So there you go. Now I have this same exact video, but I'm in a British accent. And I promise that I cannot speak in a British accent that well. I won't even attempt it here. But what this lets me do is now I can send this video, I can release this video in the UK, for example, and it's much more likely to be received well compared to like if I try to make an American accent video talking about the beloved sport of football in Europe. So this is letting me tell my story and really reach a global audience now that I couldn't really reach before. And that's like really getting back to our mission. So our mission here is how can we enable anyone to tell their story with video? And through a lot of our efforts getting to AI Creator and AI Twin, we made that possible. It's much easier to make video. But now, as we leverage more technology from the industry, improve the technology that we have ourselves, we're really letting people create video that they could never have created before, helping them tell the story that wasn't even possible to tell a few years ago. And so with this, we really are letting people reach their global audience in ways that wasn't possible. We're excited to keep working in this space. We want to continue to let people leverage AI to let people tell their story. One thing that's coming out that we are actively monitoring is the quality in B-roll video generation. Meta just released something. Runway has really good technology here. So this is something we're excited to bring in because people often want to have B-roll in the videos they produce. We then also want to continue to improve the quality of talking video so we can continue to lead the industry towards human talking video generation. That is all my time today. Thank you all for listening.